It's not, gun meats. It's not cursed guns, but it is something about guns. Chat, we're gonna do Scott when guns go boom, exploding his 4570. It's time for exploding guns. Are we ready, chat? Let's fucking go.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Adventures with Scooter. And today, we're going to check out my new lever action 4570. I love the way it looks.
That is a hell of an optic on that thing.
Looking. The lever is very levery. It's like, I love that sound. Do it all day. Oh, the trigger.
There you see.
The trigger on this
what
thing.
The fuck? Scott! Scott! I surrender. I give up. Scott, please! Stop pointing the gun at me! Please! Chat, get down. He has a 4570.
It's so crazy.
No! What? God!
That's the 5th camera this week!
Tonight, Renee! I know,
What's
homie,
up,
I know.
everybody? My name is Scott, and you're watching Kentucky Ballistics. We're back on the range, and today we're going to conduct another gun fail science experiment. Let me show you what we got and get started. So after reading your comments on the last episode of When Guns Go Boom, I determined that the #1 request for the next episode was a lever action rifle. So today we have a Henry all-weather lever action rifle chambered in the almighty 4570. So today we're going to find out what would happen if you had a catastrophic failure with a lever action 4570.
Ember, the car companies want us to only use the dealership for repairs and are soon going to make it so their cars are designed so you can't repair it otherwise.
I have the suspicion that Louis Rossman might take some issue with that. Right to repair is his thing, after all.
And I'm not going to lie, this one is going to hurt a little bit, but here at Kentucky Ballistics, we give the people what they want. Oh, almost killed.
Well, now that was a new table throw. Almost like 5 minutes ago only. Well, thanks, Tangia.
Kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Oh my God, Scott! Jesus. Oh my God. Alright, twice. Twice. She broke the fucking table twice. Oh God!
Okay. So here on this table, I have 1 gallon of water full of food dye, a Texas delicacy, Demo Ranch dressing. I have 6 pounds of ketchup, a 2-liter of root beer, 6 pounds of peas, and a cinder block. Before we put this lever action rifle to the ultimate test, let's have a little fun first. Okay, we have our Henry lever action 4570, and I have some Underwood ammo, 4570 extreme penetrators. Okay, I say we
interesting looking round. Damn! Holy shit! It ripped right through that fucking cinder block. Jesus!
Ooh. Peas are next. Oh, hit a little hot.
Missed. Damn! Here with the barks! Fucking split that can! Look at that! The force of it split that fucker all the way down to the bottom casing. Jesus! And Ghost Charlie! Thank you for the follow! Yes! It must be done. The green stuff go everywhere.
Give the peas a little more love. Oh, that's so nasty. I have to say, it smells quite lovely over here, if you like the smell of vomit. Now how about a little bit of rapid fire?
God, liver action is so sexy.
2
God.
hours later.
All right.
Was Scott gooning over the 4570 for 2 hours? Because if he was, no judgment. I mean, I 100% I understand. I'm right there with him.
So we finally have our testing station set up, and I'm sure you've already noticed, but this is not the same rifle that we've been using. I bought this rifle about 6 years ago. This is the late model of the all-weather 4570. You'll notice it does not have a side-loading gate, and it does not have the Picatinny rail on top. So as usual, safety comes first. I'll be placing this rifle in a lead sled. It's weighed down with a 50-pound bag. You'll notice we have built a cinder block wall. I have a string that I will attach to the trigger, and I will pull that string very far away while hiding behind my truck. And our volunteer today is a Ballistic Dummy Labs zombie head. A big thank you to them for sending this over for today's test. Normal operating pressures for a 4570 are between 40 and 50,000 PSI. This little guy right here is going to be producing upwards of 200,000 PSI. That's a spicy meatball! So now all we have
Fucking hell! 5 times the PSI of a normal round. And the seal of that chamber is pretty good. So what's it gonna do? I don't know. I'm not sure how good it's when the lever action is seated. I'm not sure how well it's locked into place. If it's locked into place well, I could see this thing splitting right here where the bolt makes contact with the barrel. So it basically just splits in half.
Big bada boom.
Yes.
we have to do is load this thing. I am going to push this Lexan back just slightly so that I can get in here. I'm going to go ahead and move him out of the way.
Well,
I mean, be very careful
Hefe,
doing this.
he did say that he bought this like 6 years
and,
ago.
Slip that in there. If you hit that subscribe button, I promise I'll never do that again. Okie dokie.
Nice.
Here we go. Really curious to see what happens here.
Called it. Called it. I fucking called it. Hell yeah. I called it. Fray by fray. Sheared the bale right off. Right there. Some damage here. This obviously got bent back from the forest, but sheared it. Just sheared the barrel right off. You know what? Is like your hand Because obviously your hand would be right here. Your hand would be locked. Your hand would probably be gone. Let's be honest, you're probably left with a stump. But the fireball doesn't go back very far, and I think it basically comes out of the breach, so it's coming this way. It's not going back towards the dummy head. I think the fire is basically going almost straight out to the right of the breach. So the dummy head probably is not affected. There's not a lot of shrapnel because it's wood. This wood just shattered. So, other than the hand gone, the hand is gone, for sure. The rest of you would probably be okay. Honestly. Yeah, but sure off, just the way I thought it would. Then reverse. Wow. I'm really curious what the bolt looks like. I don't know. I don't know if you'd have damage to both hands. Well, okay. You'd have probably some damage you probably have some damage to your hand here, yes. But not as, it wouldn't be it would be anywhere severe as the damage to this hand. You'd probably have your hand would probably be broken. I'd say some burns, but definitely some breaks. I'd say, probably at least 2 to 3 fingers would be broken. Maybe some light burns. Yeah, Rosebird, that's what I'm really curious about. Is what does the bolt look like after that?
Ooh, that did not sound good. Oh my gosh. Oh, oh!
There's the barrel.
Exploded. Oh, all right. Let's break this down real quick.
I have to wonder, what if that handguard was made of composite instead of wood? If that would have basically put some of if the handguard was composite instead of wood, if it would have forced some of the pressure backwards back into the receiver more, causing more damage to the receiver.
The leg sand was actually a huge help today. It helped to keep most everything inside here. We have a lot of wood shrapnel up here. The handguard just shredded.
A little part of me dies every time Scott does this, but I must watch for signs.
Well, you like science, do you? Vola, would you like to come check out my Bunsen burners? Well, that's what I mean, homely. Like, I know it would still break, but it wouldn't, like, shatter the way it did, I think, so easily, which makes me wonder if it would if some of that pressure would remain in towards the rear and mess up the receiver more than it did. Like, the fact that the handguard was wood and shattered so easily may have saved the receiver somewhat, depending on, possibly. I mean, we still have yet to actually see the damage to the interior of the receiver, but that's what I'm saying. Like, a composite handguard would have contained it more, and thus maybe had some of that explosive power backwards into the receiver.
Oh gosh, ew! Here is a piece of the brass. Let's go ahead.
Cheer 100. You don't think that sounded good? Thank you, Captain Obvious. Let's break the kitty for Turkey Day.
Thank you, Hefe.
And take a look at what's on the table, which is our stock and our receiver. I thought that the bolt was just going to fly out the back of this thing, but it stayed contained. If you look at the front of it, it's actually pretty wicked. The brass is still lodged in there. The bottom part of the receiver kind of blew downward. And after I reviewed the slow-mo footage, it looked like most of the explosion happened right here. I don't know if that's...
Just like I called it. That's exactly what I called it. Happened right at the seam of the handguard and the receiver.
It'll move or not. What was that? Oh, that's the
Another piece of brass?
Of the brass casing. Wonder if our trigger still works. Now let's have a look at our barrel. And it is over here on the ground. And that is all blown apart. It split it all the way down here. Our loading tube also took quite a beating. I also failed to mention that this barrel contained a squib. That is one gnarly split.
Oh, really?
So like I said, the slow-mo footage showed that most of the action happened right here. It blew everything kind of downwards, and I think that's what caused the handguard to disintegrate. And boy, did it. There are little pieces everywhere. Look.
Yeah.
That is nuts. Mr. Zombie down here actually looks like he made it through this whole test without a single scratch. So after assessing this situation, I would say that if you had an extreme catastrophic failure with a lever action 4570, the chances of you living are pretty good. But every incident is different. There is definitely potential here for a serious physical injury.
Hefe, even duct tape is not going to fix this. But I can think of better uses for it. Where's your duct tape, Hefe?
Especially to whatever hand you had on the handguard. But all in all, I would say the rifle held up pretty good. So now we know what it would look like if you had a catastrophic failure with a lever action 4570. Let me know what your next request is in the comment section down below.
Oh boy.
Well,
it was a drive-by tabling.
When guns go boom. Did today's results surprise you, or is it what you expected? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a big favor and give it a like. And if you're not subscribed to Kentucky Ballistics, do yourself a favor and hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure and check me out on Kentucky Customs, Kentucky Ballistics Shorts, Patreon, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Links to all those can be found in the description down below, along with a link to KentuckyBallistics.com, just in case you want to pick up a shirt. And as always, my name is Scott. Thank you so much for watching Kentucky Ballistics. I'll see you next time.
Yeah. Chet, you need to make sure you let Scott know I was right. I called it. I called it.
I wonder what Scott's taxman says about his mile-long receipts of nothing but folding tables.
My guess is... Okay, Scott. How many is it this week? Another write-off. Another write-off. Another write-off. Another write-off. I'm thinking more of what happened, what the look on the table guy's face when Scott goes into the shop and says, "Need some tables." How many dollar signs start flashing in the salesman's eyes when he goes in to buy more?